So we should be live. I hope someone is here. How you guys doing? See if we got somebody in the live today, tonight. Okay, I'll be with you shortly. I'll be right with you. Jesus, your blood, the center of my joy. I'm putting my email up. And the Cash App if somebody wants it. Okay, I phased that out. Good evening, everybody. I saw a new feature here that we can use, and we can pin comments to the top. So I pinned Chine Moss Family because she was the first one in the chat. And now I'm going to pin my email address. Hey, Salon Diva Home and Garden has been with us for 4 months. Congratulations, we thank you. And I'm going to pin my email address when I find it. There it is. And then I'll pin the Cash App up there later. I like that new feature. So I want to say good evening to, of course, Chine Moss Family. I think I have some moderators in here that are speaking to everybody. Grandmama Grows is one of our new moderators, and I will add her now. Make any type of comment, G Mama Grows, and you will see your wrench. There is Ann Dale from Ann Dale's Homestead. Miss Ellen Pankey is in here. My YouTube daughter, Miss Kia Parks. Good evening. Karen Witherspoon is in the house. Bobby Wilson. Tia's Backyard. Growing with Jay. Thank you for being here. And we have Regina Tyson. Cotham Creations. Mad Acres Farm. Pescatarian Gardener. Lita is here. Dragon Queen #1 is here. Janet Chisholm Richards is here. Cassandra Dominic is in the house. Sifting some soil. Janet is here. And Brenda Allen is here. I think I spoke to Yankee Sister, but if I didn't, charge it to my head and not my heart. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Daniel Morse is in the house. All Nat Homestead. I don't know why I want to say All's Nat every time I see your name. And Miss Debbie Epps, thank you for being here. And I think I got everybody. If I miss someone, I know that everybody is speaking to everybody. So I certainly appreciate you. And Rhonda Moffat is in the house. My cosmetology twin instructor and gardener. David Corey is here speaking to everybody. Growing Progress is here. Miss Love is in the house. Gardening with Bernie, thank you for being here. And I think I got everybody. Okay. So yeah, I love that new feature. I just saw it when I turned on, and I'm going to be using that quite often. I want to say hello to our Golden Girls. Miss Ellen Pankey is in the house, Viola Graham, Jean Dudley, Deb M., and Joyce Moore. Okay. All right, we had our natural candle making class yesterday via Zoom, and it went very well. Very studious individuals in the class, and I know they will do very well, either with their own companies that they already started or the ones they're going to start in the future, or for those who were attending just to be able to make candles for their family and their loved ones. I appreciate you all. I had a lot of fun. It was a very nice group. The next class will be Sunday, and that's available for anybody that plans to pressure can. And that's Sunday, February the 27th. You know, they're always on a Sunday. They are always at noon Central Standard Time. And the people that are participating will be pressure canning. I sent email notifications of everything that you have to have. And I heard back from everyone, except I still need to know what type of canner and the model, as well as what type of stove, if it's gas or if it's electric. Okay? And if you have any questions, I need you to contact me before Saturday morning. So Friday, any day this week, up until Friday night. Please, please, please don't contact me the morning of unless you're canceling, and I understand that if you have an emergency, it's not an issue. We'll be having them periodically. Okay. We had a couple new members. I'm not going to not waste time, but I'm not going to go over who it is. If you joined one of my perks clubs and you didn't email me to notify me, YouTube doesn't notify me. I need to get your email address so that when things come up, I'll be able to notify you. So if you join any one of the perks clubs, and for those that are watching the replay, I want to say that I appreciate you being here. And I need to go in right now and make some modifications. Content. Live. Make some customizations. It'll only take me a second, guys. Okay. Close. Okay. So if you would like to join one of the perk clubs, the first level is called Grow Your Own. It's $2.99 a month. Every Monday night, you get the opportunity to shout out your channel and put a link to your channel or tell people what zone that you're growing in. Every Monday, I'll let you know when it's time to do it. And you also get the seed of the month. If you want to, you just email me and tell me your address and everything, and I send it to you. And I announce that the first week of the month, and I've already done it for the month of February. And if I have private YouTube videos, you'll be entitled to see those. Or if I have something I'm going to share with you first, and not to people who are not in the clubs, the 3 levels, you are entitled to that as well. And that is $2.99 a month. Grow Your Own Perks Club. And the second level is $4.99 a month, and it is called Eat Your Own Club. And in that perk club, you get everything that you get in the first club membership for $2.99. Plus, you attend one food preservation class per month. And that's how the people that have signed up for the pressure canning class Sunday are attending, because they get to go absolutely free. And by the way, the ladies' names that I called out that are over 70 that are in my honorary perk club, they are a part of the Grow Your Own. No, sorry, knew that was wrong. Eat Your Own. So they can attend food preservation classes, except for canning, unless they're going to pressure can. And then the last membership perk club is called Make Your Own, and that is the one where you get everything in level 1, Grow Your Own for $2.99, or level 2 for $4.99, Highly Reserved Food, that membership. And you also get to attend my free classes, at least one a month, and twice a year I'm going to be giving 2 classes a month, and you get to attend those free. And that's what I had last Sunday. Actually, this Sunday, we made natural candles, okay? So if anybody would like to join, all you have to do is click on the $ on your PC, and you can join. And then just email me, and my email address is at the top of the chat, and you're in, and then we'll give you announcements about when we're having classes. And I post them to the community board. So this week, toward the end of the week, I'll be posting 2 more classes for March. And you can see them at any time. And I see that we have a couple more people in the house that I didn't see earlier. Growing with Hudson and Best Yet Journey is in the house. I think I spoke to everybody else. At Home with Cherie is in here too. And she also put up the link if you want to join the channels. Thank you so much, Cherie. I appreciate you very much. Also, Untia posted it as well. Okay? In fact, I'm getting ready to pin it to the top. So now, if you're interested in joining any one of those 3 perk clubs, you can do so at any time. You can come back and you can watch this later, or you can join tonight. Please, please, please don't send me any money through Cash App or PayPal, because it has to go through YouTube. They get a percentage of that. And it's really worth your while, because I charge $50 per Make Your Own product class. And I charge $30 per every food preservation class. So you'll be able to attend and get these free. And the cool thing about it, once you have attended all the classes that you want to take, you can cancel at any time. And trust me, there will not be any hard feelings from me, because I know that your agenda was just to learn a certain amount of things. Or you can cancel and then join a lower group if that's what you plan on doing. Okay? And Best Yet Journey, thank you, saying Lady Cheryl's clubs are very beneficial. Really enjoy my perks. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so now I may seem a little bit tired. I'm not fatigued, but I'm a little bit tired, because my grandchildren, I named them Lady Cheryl's Gardening Squad. I'm piggybacking off of the beautiful Miss Debbie Epps when she named the moderators the LC Mod Squad. I think she made it LCOFF, and I shortened it to LC Mod Squad. I named my grandchildren Lady Cheryl's Gardening Squad, because they came over today because it's President's Day and their schools were out. They all attend school in Mesquite, Texas, and they came over and they really helped me. And with the cleanup, it was 77 degrees today, and in a few days, I think it's going to be 25 or 27, the lowest. But during the day, it's going to be about 35. I may be a little bit off with the weather because I'm constantly checking the weather. And guys, little Bria, you know, all know she is my youngest grand angel. She gets the weather report from Alexa and then calls me and tells me what the weather forecast is. And I just love it because I'm enjoying this communication with her. She's on Brian's cell phone because I know when she turns 8 or 9, whatever age the parents decide to give them a phone, she's going to have her own friends and she's not going to be calling Big Mommy anymore. So I'm loving it. And when I don't get a phone call from her, I let her know if she goes a couple of days. But they came, and I've been collecting cardboard for almost a year. And in the new video that I put out, which will probably be tomorrow morning, I'm going to share with you what we did. And I'm going to share some of the work I did before they got here last week, because I wanted to take advantage of the good weather. And so everywhere where we put down new mulch, there's a double layer of cardboard underneath to smother out weeds, because I don't have any grass in my backyard. Those of you that have been following me for a while know that. And if you have wood chips, that breaks down to soil, and any weed that the birds drop or the wind blows, the seeds, they will pop up in those wood chips and continue to grow. So you constantly have to replenish. Now, I've been getting wood chips from woodchip.com. I think that's the website. And in some rural areas it's difficult to get them. But if you live within the city limits, you can get wood chips very easily. Because I've gotten double loads, and I mean a lot of wood chips. And I'm just going to be honest with you, and I'm going to write myself a note because I want to talk about soil mixes too. When I get the free wood chips, I have to pay somebody to spread them. And it can be like anywhere from, depending on how much wood chips it is, from $75 to $150 I've had to pay. Because I physically cannot do the work anymore. I mean, let me put it this way. I can do the work, but it will make me chronically fatigued. And it's just too much on me. And I was talking to my sister today, and I wrote a note so I won't get off point. I was talking to my sister today, and I reminded her of before I retired. I guess I was around 55 then. I was at Home Depot looking at transplants. That's before I started growing my pepper plants and my tomato plants from seeds. I used to do like collard greens, mustard, spinach, all those kind of leafy greens from seeds. I would direct sow them. But I used to buy transplants, and there's nothing wrong with buying transplants. But now that I have the time and I'm retired, I find it much more rewarding because I can grow things that I can't pick up at Home Depot or any other big box store. But getting back to the story I was telling my sister about, when I talked to her the night before, she was ill. And she said, I gotta let you go. I don't feel good. And she let me know it's probably something that she ate. And so I was reminded when I was in this store with these elderly ladies. They were asking me, they said, you look like you know a lot about gardening. I said, well, I know a little bit. What was your question? And they wanted to know how many plants that could they put into a container. And they had a container that was 15 gallons. So I said, you probably could put 3 tomato plants, because the general rule is, at least if they're regular indeterminate tomatoes, you could put 1 in a 5-gallon bucket. So you could do 3. But I would get smaller containers, like 5 gallons. And Even the buckets they sell in the store, drill holes in the bottom of them and put one plant per bucket, and you cannot move them around. Because they told me that their space was limited because they had just moved into the new senior citizen facility in my area, and they both had balconies, and they became friends because they moved in approximately the same time. And so I said, "Oh, a senior citizen, okay. Do you mind me asking how old you are? How old you are?" And they told me, and I believe one was 79 and the other lady was 82, and they looked incredible. And I was telling my sister, I said, "Well, I want to be just like you all when I grow up," because I was in my mid-50s during that time, and you all know I'll be 68 this summer. And I said, "Well, what's your secret? Because I want to be like you all when I grow up." And they said, one lady said, "Don't do anything physical that's going to hurt your body." Okay? And it went in one ear and out the other. And the other one said, "Don't eat anything that you know will make you sick." And it went in one ear and out the other. But let me tell you, getting back to the conversation with my sister, she ate something that she should not have. And I don't want to, put her business out in the street like this, so I'm not going to tell you what it was. But she admitted to me she ate something she had no business eating. And I said, "Now you see why certain things I don't eat. I can't anymore because it makes me very sick." And then I told about the story, and I said, "I'm so glad that my grandchildren are going to come over because I cannot do this physical shoveling and, all that strain like I used to because it hurts my body and I'm sore for a very long time." So I decided that I would get the wood mulch in the bags. I had a big delivery delivered to my home on a pallet, and my son came and put the bags in various areas in the food forest, and we mulched the pathways. Now, I do know that some of those, and most of those wood mulches, unless it says organic, have certain dyes in it. This is not going where anything will be growing. It's for the pathways. And I decided it would be cheaper and less stress and strain on my body to do it that way and get my grandkids to help me, which I pay them. Gosh, these kids got cash apps and Zelle like everybody grown. It's amazing. But anyway, but it wasn't as much as I would have to pay the landscaper or somebody else to come and do it. So that's what I want to tell you all, and that'll be in the video. So please don't email me, "I thought you said you're organic." I tell you all the time that some of the potting mixes that I use initially in my garden are not organic, and now I'm going to add to the list wood chips that will be in my pathways. Okay? And so I wrote down soil mixes because I've been getting a lot of emails asking me what do I use for my soil mix. So I'm going to say it here, and I'll go on record, and I've said it before. I don't mix up soil anymore because it's too heavy for me. So I buy what's on sale, potting mix, to start when I pot up my seedlings. And I use Jiffy Peat pellets to start seeds. And some of my fast growing seeds, I use Jiffy Seed Starting Mix. My YouTube daughter told me about it was on sale at Wally World for $2.99. I made a community post and told you guys about it. It was like $10 cheaper than what it normally is. And I add boiling water to it, a little neem oil, and recently I started adding a little perlite to facilitate it retaining the moisture and drainage. So that's it, guys. If you want to go back and look at my old videos from 2 years ago, look at seed starting or raised beds playlist, you will see that I made them, and you can see the formulas that I use. Cocoa Core, worm castings, topsoil, perlite, vermiculite, I think that's about it. Cocoa core, peat moss sometimes I added that, but really that big block of cocoa core. But I don't do that anymore. I get a bag that I can handle, that I can pick up out of the trunk, drag it to where I need to in the yard and do what I have to do. So I hope that I get that message out. But those of you that are young and you can, you got that energy and you have the ability to mix it up somewhere, go for it. You can either even have it delivered. You can have, they deliver compost. Check with your, I don't know what the word is, but it's your city where you can get, some cities you can get free compost. And then they have these yards where people do this for a living, decomposing cow manure and goat and chickens and all this stuff. And they have this compost and they'll deliver to you, usually within a 50-mile radius. Check with your Facebook gardening groups, because I see it on there every day. Okay? So if I was to get somebody to deliver it for me, I still would have to shovel it or pay somebody to shovel it. So I just buy ready-made potting mixes or garden bed mixes. Okay, so I answered that question. I can check that off. Do you all have any questions concerning that? Not your other questions. I'm going to get that later. But right now, I want to answer any questions that you have concerning potting mix or seed starting mix. Regina Tyson. Okay, she's telling me that Joyce Moore, I get wood chips from a couple of tree service companies. Yes, and I get them because my neighbor on this side, he has a lot of trees. Not fruit trees, he's not into the gardening, but he has a lot of trees. And they have to be severely pruned because this neighborhood is only 35 years old. And he when he has somebody to come in, and if it's not a lot of chips, I'll ask them, can I have those? But those great big dumps that they have been doing, I cannot handle that anymore. Okay? But yes, if you know some tree services that are not even affiliated with Chip Drop, you also can see people working with the city. You can stop and ask them. But I decided that I'm going to go with bag mulch for my pathways. And for any reason, if I decided to change a pathway and put a tree there, even though I hope I don't buy anymore because I got too many, I would dig down real deep and dig up any soil that came in contact with that bag mulch. Okay? Do you use bone meal or blood meal? Chine Moss Farm, I do not. I've never used bone meal or blood meal. But it's nothing wrong with it. It's organic and it's fine. I'm at the point now where my beds, my containers, my grow boxes, my elevated raised beds are established, and I don't need to add anything like that to right now because the comfrey, along with my azomite rock dust, my worm castings, I mean, I don't even need mycorrhizal fungi at this point. I just use the comfrey now. That's all I use, with the exception of garden lime to prevent blossom end rot, and of course my homemade compost because I can't digest egg yolks, so I don't eat a lot of eggs. So I need that calcium in there, so I buy garden lime. Okay. Question. Okay, that's what Auntie is telling everybody. If you have one concerning just the soil mixes and the seed starting mix. And then I got a lot of email. I don't know if I came across in a way that confused you all. I don't know, but I don't think I said it wrong, but I got a senior citizen brain. That day that I told you guys, if the seed packet tells you or your research tells you, you don't have to cover the tiny seeds like chamomile, rutabaga, mustard greens, turnips. Those seeds are so small, and some flower seeds. You don't have to cover with soil. You can put them under a grow light and keep them moist on at the top. I'm just thinking about the ones that I'm growing right now. There are a lot of others. Carrots. I could go on and on if I could think of them. So people wanted to know why I had chamomile under the light, and why did I have mustard greens under the light, or turnip, one of them. When I said I don't put my seeds under the light. Only the ones that do not require for you to put soil or whatever growing medium you're using, you can put them under the light. I hope I cleared up any confusion. Hey, Angel Loves Garden, thank you for being here. Okay, all right, so I'm moving on to the next subject matter. At this time, I'm going everybody who is either Miss Ellen Panky, stevia seeds uncovered under the light. That's another one, Miss Ellen, Auntie Ellen. You're exactly right. That's another one. And you bet your bottom dollar, I learned this time around why I have been unsuccessful starting the stevia seeds, because I covered them up in the past. Okay? All right. Uncover stevia seeds under the light. Very good. Thank you so much, Auntie Ellen, for reminding me of that. Okay, so I think I got everybody's question concerning the soil mixes, seeds that need to go under the light, and those that you need to wait until they germinate. Okay? If you have a whole 6-pack sale, and 1 or 2 pop up, go ahead on and put the other ones, because bet you me they are getting ready to pop up too. You'll see a little indentation where the seed is getting ready to come through. And that's another thing I want to talk about. I'm going to lose my train of thought. Oh, no. I want everybody to go ahead and put in your gardening zone. If you have an emoji by your name, a hibiscus that you're in one of the perks clubs, or if you are a moderator, go ahead and put them in right now, because I want them all together. Please go ahead and put them in, because I want them all together. All right, we see the Auntie's backyard. She's in garden zone 5B, 6A. We got a lot of people that don't have the channel, but they're letting you know what garden zone they are in. So you can click on there and you'll see their name. I think you can click on it. If not, you can put it in the search bar, and you all can get in touch with everybody. Now, Angela Bullware, I'm going to remove your name because you are not a moderator. I'm not going to put you in timeout or anything like that. I'm just going to remove your comment. These are only for people who are moderators, or if they're in the Perks Club. If you would like to be mentioned every week, you could join at the lowest level of $2.99 a month. Moderators, please check carefully, because I caught that one, but I usually look for you all to catch them. Mabel Speaks is another one I'm going to remove. No offense, dear. It's only for the people who are in a group, or if they are moderators. So I'm asking my moderators at this time to go and check everybody out. Check all the zones and make sure. Amani is in the house. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. Moderators or Perk Club members. I'm supposed to be going to get something. What is it? Oh, I know what it is. Mm-hmm. It's actually a little warm in here, but I don't have the furnace on at all. But it's still warm outside. It is 73 and 75 in the greenhouse where the monitors are. And let's see what the temperature is currently in the green outside. Oh, it's 76 degrees outside. So it's actually a little cooler in the greenhouse than it is outside. Mm-hmm. So that's why that was like that. Okay. Okay, did we get all of the people's names in? Thank you, Growing with Hudson, for putting in Miss Ellen Pankey's website. And we've got a couple of people that started with me for a couple of years, and they have started their YouTube channel. So I'm very happy about that. Hi, Growing with Jay. I don't know if I spoke to you or not. The next thing I'm going to do is share with you the special. I'm just making sure these caps are on tight. And let me go to my website. And those of you that have tried any of the following products from me, if you have tried my creamy body butter, my creamy body lotion, the total body oil, the moisturizing hair milk, or the peace candle, it is all the same fragrance at different strengths depending on what the product is. So that is what the Monday night mystery special is for this week. And since I had that problem with the computer last week, I went ahead and published it this morning when I was on the phone talking to my only sister, because I didn't want nothing to happen. And I thought that could have been avoided if I had just published it early instead of right before I went on. So the fragrance oil, which is a special secret blend of lemongrass, lavender, and hibiscus. And when I was in my class yesterday, I had somebody to look up what 1 ounce of hibiscus oil was, and they can tell you it's around $25 an ounce. That's a very small amount. So this roll-on, this fragrance, would complement your other products that you use of mine, or it will stand alone because it's more concentrated, and it comes in a 5 milliliter roll-on. It's regularly priced at $17, which includes the shipping charge. But I made it my one night only special, and so up until midnight tonight, you can receive it for $13.99. So it's like about, what, $3 off per bottle. It's a good time to buy it. If you're interested, go ahead and make sure that you click on the specials and gift set link. Don't order it straight from the website where it says fragrance oils, because it's a little bit more. And I want you to know that there's nothing synthetic in these roll-on jars. They have essential oils, and then almond oil, in my professional opinion, is the best carrier oil for a fragrance. And sweet almond oil is unscented, and it will soften your skin when you apply it to your pulse points. So if you like the scent of any of those products that I mentioned, now is your time to pick up the fragrance at a very reasonable price. Okay? Is there anyone in here that has used the fragrance before, or any of the products? Because that's the first thing you all email me and tell me. Somebody emailed me today and let me know they opened up their creamy body butter and said, oh, they love the scent. It's the same scent in this roll-on, except it's more concentrated. Have any of you used it before? If you've used it before, or any of the products that has that piece scent to it. Okay, we just speaking. Okay. And Debbie Epps says she's used them all except the lotion. And she didn't buy them all at the same time, so she must have liked it. Because she added to her collection. Thank you, Miss Debbie, for letting us know. Okay. I see Susie Polander is in here. Good evening. And Joyce L. Moore has used the body butter, the hair milk, and the body lotion. And I usually smell like the pain cream, Auntie said. I'm going to have to use the pain cream tonight. And Yankee Sister says she has a cup of peace tea every night. That's wonderful. And that's what I'm having tonight. I've been experimenting with apricot and mango tea, but it's not ready yet. But, and Joy says she has the pain cream. Yeah, I did a lot of work, and you'll see. The kids think I did more supervising, but sometimes with children, and they're wonderful. But sometimes you can tell them to do something and they just don't get it, and you just have to get in there and do it yourself, you know? So I did a lot of work today, and a lot of work. Thank you, Lorraine T, for letting us know you've got the creamy body butter. So yeah, guys, if you want to go ahead on and get that, I appreciate it if you order through the special page. Okay, so everybody got their websites in. I always say websites, I mean URL to YouTube. And I see some people didn't put theirs. I'm sure they have their reasons. Let's see. Let me get to my notes. Okay, and I want to say one more thing about the seeds. I want to say thank you to everybody that has sent me seeds, because you know this year, every year I have a theme for my garden. This year is the Garden of Gratitude, and that consists of seeds I've had for a long time. You all know I freeze my seeds from season to season. And seeds that people have gifted me and blessed me with. seeds that the Lord blessed me with to be able to grow them, and plants go to seed, and I collected the seeds. I think that's it. Because with the exception of the stevia, I don't think I bought any seeds. So the gratitude garden is mostly what people have given me. And also, I have a theme every year, and I'm not going to go into it like I do every week about the past years. But I also have a central point that connects all my videos together. And this year it was how to have a garden and not spend a lot of money. So that's why you see in the titles of my videos, cheap and fast seeds to grow, easy seeds, how to start seeds without spending any money. I used whatever I had. I didn't use anything. And I found, the other day when Brian Brill was over here, I found 2 more of those nicer 6-packs that are deep. From Bonnie's Plants that I got something on sale. I'm sure it was like $1 or something, you know, when you go to certain stores and they have a clearance. It's Lowe's. And they have stuff on life support, but you know, you can, with tender loving care, you can bring them back. So I buy a lot of stuff like that. And these I didn't throw away. So I may start some seeds in that. And I also have some containers. Again, Lowe's will let you take those little trays that have like a little circle in it where you can put a pot in. I have a lot of them that I'll be using out in the greenhouse to put my cups in. So I'm going to be using those. But I specifically wanted to stress that you can use old containers, to-go boxes when you're out dining. I'm trying to look over there. I use styrofoam plates. I use a tote for some sweaters I gave to the Goodwill, and I made a DIY mini greenhouse and a light with mylar paper instead of, you can use aluminum foil. And somebody emailed me, or they commented, I can't think of the name right now who did it because I get a lot of comments, saying that they use the windshield protector. And I've done that too. You know, those silver ones? You could put that around your little grow boxes that will reflect the light. So and if you have the money to buy all of the fancy equipment, more power to you. I think that's wonderful. And since I didn't hardly spend any money this year, I'm probably going to buy me some new stuff next year or when it goes on sale. But this year, I wanted to connect everything together, because you'll be surprised how many emails that I get from people who are overwhelmed and say they can't afford this and they can't afford that. So that's my mission this year, to show you that you can do things inexpensively and use what you have, and you still can have a successful garden. And then that frees your money up to use it on other things in your garden. Okay. Man, because I tell you, if you Google anything, you'll start getting emails from all of the merchants on what you Googled. Because I was thinking about buying me another water feature. Just dreaming. I want another water feature. And man, I keep getting so many tempting emails with people, you know, showing for you to click on and check out their water features. Did you ever change your settings? No. Do we have a cheesecake in the office? Growing with Hudson? I didn't do it for this one. Do we have a cheesecake? Growing for Hudson said, if it's for kids. I didn't set this for not for. Okay, cool. I always select my videos not to be for children. Okay. So anyway, let me move on. And go to my topic. Anybody was off today because of President's Day? I'm looking for my topic. And you know, last week I talked about some fast growing seeds, right? This week, I want to talk about something interesting that I ran across. I thought it was really good. It was how you can get 2 for 1 out of certain plants. And the first one I'm going to mention is radishes. So, Homestead Heart sent me some China Rose, I think it is, radish. I'm trying to think of the name of the lady who sent me the wasabi radish. Well, you guys, I don't know if you know this or if you tried it, and you all let me know in the comments. Okay. Yankee sister, she's retired and she was off today. And Auntie is telling everybody to hold their questions for right now. And Cassandra Dominic says she was off today. Good for you. That article that I read, and I thought I'll bring it to you guys' attention, that you can also eat the leaves of radishes. You don't have to just eat the root crop part of the crop. You can eat the leaves. Now, I want you all to tell me what it tastes like if you've eaten them before, because I haven't. But these 2 types that I'm growing, I'm certainly going to try. Anybody, have you eaten the leaves of the radish, the greens? Let us know and what they taste like. Please put it on the screen. And I'll pin it to the top. Anybody, have you eaten radish leaves? Okay, I'm not getting any response, so I guess nobody has eaten them. Okay, Antia says, I love radish greens. I wilt them down with my scrambled eggs. Debbie Epp says, mine are spicy. Sharisa, I saute my radish leaves, the tender ones. And Chime Moss Farm said they're good. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that. Because the few times that I have grown radish, not few times, but the times that I've grown radish, I just ate the radish. I never thought about the leaves. So, that is good to know. And this time I will do it and make a little video. And Angel Loves Garden said, yes, I love radish leaves in my salads and the radish pods. And that's what that article said. Fighting Quiet said, I have their good sauteed. And that's what that article said. The seed pods taste even good too. So I imagine they would taste a little peppery. Thank you guys for contributing to the conversation. Grandmama Gross says she never tried radish leaves. So Grandmama Gross, let's you and I try it. And let's see, what they taste like. Another one of the things that they mentioned that, of course, I know you all know this one. If you don't, shame on you, it's beets. Because the beet leaves or greens taste like Swiss chard. And so if yours are not frostbitten, because I grow mine in the fall of the year, sometimes if they look a little wilted and frostbitten, I won't eat them. But if they aren't, I always cook my beets because they're in the same family, like I said, of Swiss chard. So that's the second one, Swiss chard. And Auntie says she loves the seed pods. They're like spicy pea pods if they're not too old. The seed pods are spicy. Yes, I ate them in the spring at home with Cheryl. That's what I kind of figured because radish tastes a little spicy to me anyway. Okay, so if you haven't been eating beet greens, try them. Try your beet greens. You get a 2-for-1. The next thing I'm going to talk about is carrots. Now, years ago when I had my Facebook group, the lady was in there and she was telling me she tried them, they were nasty. But I think it depends on the type of carrot that you're growing. So always try it first. Take one off and try it and you might be surprised. Because lately, I've just been growing Parisian carrots. Those little small round ones. And those greens are sweet. And you don't even have to saute them. You can just wash them up like you do your regular lettuce and, shred it, chop it, dice, however you want to do it. In my salad, I love them. And now this is off of the subject, but I'm going to tell you something else that I like raw is pea shoots and corn microgreens. Those little stalks when, because I planted them when I did my emergency garden in the beginning of the pandemic. Man, those taste delicious. The pea shoots taste like sweet peas, and the corn tastes like sweet corn, because that's what I was growing, peaches and cream and sweet corn. So I want you all to try that. You will be surprised. You can get more variation in your salads, okay? Waiting for warmer temperatures to stabilize to sow seeds for beets, stevia, calendula. Going to use 30-gallon grow bags and organic garden soil. Very good. And at home with Teresa, carrot top pesto is yummy. That sounds like it would be good. And Growing with Hudson says she just planted some more carrots. And I'm doing something different this year in my gratitude garden because I usually don't plant too many greens in the spring because you all know we go from warm to super hot real fast, and most times they bolt. But I'm starting a little bit earlier, so I'm thinking I can get some mustard and turnips and rutabagas and all that stuff in. French breakfast radish is nice. It's very mild and a little sweet. Okay, thank you. See, this is what I love when you all contribute, okay? Because we can learn from each other. So I'm going to write down French breakfast, and I've heard it before, but I've never grown it. Radish. Now, so this will go on my to-buy seeds for next year. For 2020. Gosh, can you believe it? 2023 will be next year. Very good. Thank you, Amani, for letting us know. Okay, so try your carrot greens. Okay? Now, this is one I did know. And I've talked about it before. Chicory. I've gotten my chicory seeds from Dan's Permaculture Food Forest, and it's really Italian dandelion. And that chicory root and greens is in my blood sugar control tea. And some people roast chicory root like coffee. And it doesn't have the caffeine in it, but it gives them that aroma and that taste. So if you haven't tried that, try chicory. Bob Browning said you can also eat cauliflower leaves and mix them with your other greens. Yes, cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, all of those you can eat. And I used to wouldn't eat them. I would just throw cauliflower and put everything else in the compost. And I don't remember who it was, but they told me, make sure to try to saute them up with your cabbage or with your collards. And I tried it, and I loved it. It tastes delicious. Thank you for bringing that up, Brownlee. But that wasn't a root crop, but very good contribution to the conversation. Let's go to another root crop. Come on. And you all know this one. Everybody knows this one. Onion. Onions, because we know that we can eat those green little tender onions. We can let them keep on growing. We can even buy green onions from the store that have a little root, put them in water, and just keep cutting them off, cutting them off, cutting them off. Same thing in your garden. Onion. You can eat the roots and you can eat the green part. 2 for 1. Right? Hello, Grace and Fire. Thank you for being here. Another one, guys, is... Let me find it. And this is one that I am growing this year in the spring. And Homestead Heart sent me these free seeds. Rutabaga. Or rutabaga. As a kid, we said rutabaga. Rutabaga. And you all know, can anybody tell me why I'm growing rutabaga? Okay, Grandma got some chicory seeds. Okay, cool. Can anybody tell me, guess? Come on, somebody guess why I'm going to grow the rutabaga early instead of the fall. Anybody? Mommy said she got 2 from the Dollar Tree. I've never used them because they couldn't buy enough organic soil to fill them. That's it, Miss Tia and Miss Brenda Allen and Miss Kia Parks and LaShawn Black. That's just why I'm going to grow them, for a potato substitute. Very good. Hi, Charlene Joe. Thank you for being here. And she let you all know she hit that thumbs button. Up button. Did you all? And you're right, Chime Moss Farm. You can store them for a long period of time. I still have some turnips that I harvested back in the fall. Okay. And let's see, we got one more. Well, rutabaga and turnips. That was the other one I wanted to talk about. And you guys know that I'm growing that. Okay. So that's what I wanted to talk about. And now I'm ready for your questions. Grandmama Grows, yes. You can cook it like a potato replacement, like I did the videos on the turnips. Some even people cook them up like French fries and put them in the air fryer. A young lady sent me some seeds. I'm going to get up over here and see if the envelope is here. She sent me another one. Yes, Shayla Harvey. She emailed me and she asked me, had I ever tried jicama? Jicama. Jicama. The J is silent. And I did some research on these seeds and I planted a lot of them. And they grow like a root crop, like a rhizome, like ginger, turmeric, but Jerusalem artichoke, sunchokes. But this is the only one that is considered a rhizome that you can grow from a seed. So I'm patiently waiting for them to germinate. I read up all about it. They say you can cut these up like potatoes and fry them or air fry them like potatoes and put them in the refrigerator before you do it. They don't turn brown like potatoes do if you don't put them in water. And a lot of people swear up and down that they taste very good. Some people make, you know, a little salsa, or they put it in salads, you know, chopped up jicama. But I'm going to try it like a, first, I'm going to try it like a potato substitute. So this will be started and grown for the first time in my gratitude garden. And again, I'm going to give a shout out to Shayla Harvey from Florida. She sent me that. And see, guys, people are sending me stuff because I've been telling them about the gratitude garden. Okay? Antia sent me the cucumbers that don't have to cross-pollinate. I think it's called beta alpha or something like that. And Auntie, I saw you in here tonight. I'm just going to show you this. I got some seeds in here. I'm gifting you a lot of different seeds. And it's got bubble wrapped around it to say thank you for sending me those seeds for the cucumbers. I got to remember to mail this. And I need you to let me know if they're bush. Because I couldn't remember from the, I didn't write it down in my notes, if those cucumbers are bush or not bush. And then I'm a little ashamed to admit this, but it's true. This is a package that came from Auntie Ellen. I misplaced it. And she sent me the cutest mask. I had it on yesterday. And she sent it to me a while ago. And I had the mask on yesterday. And she crocheted this beautiful pot holder. I've had these guys for several weeks. And then this little mat placement right here. She was emailed me to let me know I can take my teapot and sit it on there and help keep it warm. And I'm just so grateful. So grateful. And the mask is really nice. I don't know where it is. I had it on yesterday. And it's like 3-ply. And it's just really, really, really nice. So I want to thank her for that too. And Spring Summer said, can I use the smaller sweet potatoes to use to make slits? I think you're talking about sweet potato slips, LIPS. You can make them from big sweet potatoes or small sweet potatoes. It doesn't matter. Yes, ma'am, you can. Next time, put your question in all caps or I will miss it. Oh, thank you at home with Cherie. She's letting you know if you mark it up like that, I will see it. But who is that? Amani says she's going to propagate turmeric and ginger next week, thinking about jicama too. Yes, I started ginger and turmeric. I just haven't showed it to you on the video. I think I did a couple weeks ago, and I'll probably share it when they start sprouting up and when I'm getting ready to pot up into a larger container. And Barb Brownlee said, my sound is breaking up. Maybe because of the weather. I hear a little rumbling outside. But it's not raining right now. I hope it gets better. Oh, somebody said it just cleared up. Okay. Thank you. And I see Living Miracle Homestead is in the house. Thank you for being here. I don't think I spoke to you. I'm sure somebody else did. It's going off and on, but right now it sounds good. It is choppy on my end. Okay, so we won't stay on here long. If you all will give me your questions in all caps, I'm going to go back just in case I miss somebody. Oh, and I see it's been breaking up for a while. But why the sound choppy? I don't know. And Cherie says she eats her jicama raw. She's growing a lot of it this year. How long did it take the seeds to germinate? Cherie, because I don't know, and you know they haven't germinated yet. I have been propagating sweet potatoes to sub for red or white, and you're right because I'm pre-diabetic too, and I on my list of food to not eat is white potatoes, whether it's red potatoes, Yukon Gold or whatever, Purple Majesty, Royal Majesty. But sweet potatoes is on the list within um, the right portion because it is more fiber than carbs. Okay. And Amani said her grandmother used to cook rutabaga, and now she understands. Yeah, we had rutabaga and turnip, but they were chopped up in our greens. But I'm gonna cook mine separate. Okay. Is the audio doing better, guys? Everybody's saying yes. Okay. Thank you, Bernie. It's better for now. So just let me know, guys, and we'll go ahead on and end the live if it gets too bad. Okay. Any other questions? Now, I was getting ready to take some plants to the greenhouse, and even though it's going to be thunderstorms tonight, I left the windows open because the way the greenhouse is designed, like on the steeple, the water will roll off and shouldn't go too much get inside. But people still saying the audio is better. But I think because we're going to have that real severe drop in the weather. For example, tomorrow is Tuesday. The high will be 70. The low, which will be Wednesday morning, is going to be 29. The high for Wednesday is 33. All day long, the high is going to be 33. So we're going to jump from 77 today to 33 on Wednesday. That is too much of a swing for me to take those plants out to the greenhouse. The first set. I was going to take the peas, spinach, a few elderberry saplings I have for myself, and morning glories. But I think I'm going to just wait. And that's why I made the DIY greenhouse with the one light on top of it. I think I'm going to postpone moving everything to the greenhouse until March the 1st as opposed to the last week in February. I think it'll be better. Okay, I have a question. Yeah, this weather is crazy, growing with Hudson. I have tiny potatoes left from last year, and they are chitting. Do you think I could plant them for new potatoes? Absolutely, yes. And depending on what zone you in, you can plant them now because if you in zone 8A, we plant our potatoes in February. And even if we get a freeze, they still will grow back. So I don't remember where you are, Yankee Sister. You'll let me know. You can check with your Farmer's Almanac or your local extension office, and it'll tell you for your zone when to plant the potatoes. But I planted potatoes, and it froze, and they died back a little bit, but they still kept growing. So on our little planting guide for zone 8 for all of Texas, they do South Texas, Central Texas, and North Texas, and it gives you the dates. And it comes from the Agriculture Department from the University of Texas, Texas A&M. And February is the month. And I think more specifically, it's before Valentine's Day that we plant our white potatoes. Okay. When you start your green beans, if you do them this season, when will you start? See, Thomas, I started some in peaked pellets the other day. I collected a lot of seeds from the 274. Is it Top Crop? I think it's Top Crop 274. I will let you know in a future video. And I started these little red purple beans. The same ones I grew last year. I saved a lot of seeds in the year before. And I soaked them overnight and put them in peat pellets. And then I'm going to succession plant the rest of them around the end of March directly into my grow boxes. And they are bush type. Okay. Let's get the next question. Do you sterilize your seed planting containers? Yes, but I didn't use any seed container planting containers this year. I used whatever I had. And the cups were, were not used, and the ones that were used, I used a little bleach in my water to clean them out at the end of every season, dry them out real good, and stack them up and put them in my grow room. And I've got the hiccups or something. Yes, but yes, to answer your question, I put a little bleach in my water. Sometimes I do it outside in a big garbage can, and sometimes I do it inside. Because you don't want to bring anything, you don't want to introduce anything like gnat fungus or anything that can be brewing there all year for the next year. Always start off with clean, sterilized, or sanitized containers. Hi, Callie Homesteading with Pooh Bear. Thank you for being here. Okay, so then we have clips of my garden said, Jicama and cassava is a little on the dry, chalky, and starchy taste, but if cooked them, I guess if you cook them like rutabagas, they would be delish. Okay, good to know. I tried to grow cassava, and I used to call it cabasa. And people were laughing at me because I didn't know no better. But I was trying to grow it, and I didn't get that much out of it. I think I had my planting season off, but I got enough to show my grain angels that's what tapioca pudding is made out of. So I do some things just to show them, like the sugar cane, because I wanted them to suck on it and chew it like I did as a kid when my grandfather did it. And I did roasted sunflowers, but my grandkids, I'm going to tell you what I told my sister. My grandkids act like they bougie. They don't want to eat sunflowers or pumpkin seeds or, I don't know. They need to get out of this stuff. We ate pumpkin seeds and we loved it. And my mother roasted sunflower seeds and we loved it. And we bought sunflower seeds in the bag, from the store like you did chips. So, C. Thomas says she's in Texas. And yes, I have potatoes in the greenhouse and my sweet potatoes chattered, and I placed them in soil to get the slips. My sweet potatoes chattered. I think you might say chitted. Yeah, these kids, Antia, are something else. And Fighting Quad said that's most kids nowadays. They are a different breed. Yeah, they are a different breed or breed. And they, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. Because I'm going to say it. I cook baked chicken with barbecue sauce. And so when they finished working, they went and washed up. And I said, we're going to make a sandwich. pulled chicken barbecue, and one of my grandkids, I'm not going to call the name, but she said, oh, I don't think I want that. And I said, well, what do you want? She says, how about I just make some toast? I said, okay, go ahead and make some toast. And then when she saw how delicious looking the barbecue sandwich was, she says, you know, that looks appealing. I think I'll have that. That's just to give you an example of what I'm talking about. You know, if I was at my grandmother's house and she said, we're gonna have a barbecue sandwich, go wash up. Yes, we called her Big Mama too. Yes, Big Mama, we were happy. And she made the sandwich and we ate it and we were happy. But these kids today are a little bit different. Okay. And somebody saying they still eat sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds. I know that's right. I would too if they made them without salt. I tell you what I am going to do, and I saw this on a YouTube video. They wash the sunflower head really well after they pull the flowers and stuff off. And the lady put garlic and butter and a little olive oil, and she baked the whole head. And then she had her husband to scoop it out and taste it, and he liked it. And I said, wow, I wish I had tried that. So I'm going to try it. Too many choices for these youngins. That's it, Amani. Okay. Okay. Barbecue was a luxury in my house. Growing up, we had syrup sandwiches and ketchup sandwiches. Okay. And cinnamon toast with a little butter and sugar on it, made not in the toaster, at the bottom of the oven. My grandkids was popping the toaster. Too much junk food. I live in Miracle Homestead. Okay. Yeah, guys. Any other questions about planting? And we're going to end it a little bit early tonight. If you don't have any more questions. Sugar bread. That's it, David Corey. We put some little sugar on it and a little cinnamon, and we had cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon toast is the best. Yes, with that big glob of butter right there burning in the center on the corners of the toast. That was the best part. Have you seen those roasted sunflower seed heads? I want to try it. No, I haven't seen it. I just saw that video, Cherie. I'm definitely going to make some this year because I went in my seed vault and I pulled out a lot of sunflowers that haven't grown for a while. And all of them didn't germinate, but most of them did. So I'm going to have 4 or 5 different, different types of sunflowers. Okay, Charlie Mouse Family said they have unsalted sunflowers at Big Lots. And David Corey said, made in the cast iron skillet. I know that's right. I know that's right. Things were simple, but we had fun. And you see, Brian and Bria, they have the bicycles. They have the battery-operated mopeds. They can't go and ride their bikes down the street. Their dad has to load them up in the SUV, then take them either to the park or the parking lot of the school or something like that and watch them and let them play. And Brian is in karate and Bria's in gymnastic, and my other 2 grand angels that were here today, the post that I did, the tallest granddaughter, she is in drill team, and Chewy is in football. So they get a lot of exercise and stuff, but you've got to be right there with them. They don't know what it is to skate around the block like it was when I was a kid. We had so much fun, and we had to be home when the street lights came on. And if you didn't come home when the street lights came home, and you would see the kids just running. Nowadays, it is different. You cannot let your kids out of your eyesight. I saw a video where they snatched the girl in a grocery store, one in the mall, and ran out, and the lady, it's just terrible. Guys, it's terrible. We had a lot of fun. It's too scary now. Mom kicked us out, and yep, the street light alarm. Yes, the kid want lessons for everything, but they don't want to be out in the yard just doing stuff to learn on their own. They came over here to work. Brian had a cell phone, and Bria had an iPad. I said, what you bringing that for? What you bringing that for? You came to work. Please tell me where you get your stuff to put in the water for mosquitoes. Oh, the mosquito bits are from Amazon, and they have the mosquito donuts on Amazon and Home Depot. I've seen them in the small package for people who don't have a lot of crops. Finding with Quan said, Debbie Epps, that's great. Do they do well in planters? I don't know what you guys are talking about. I think I must have missed that one. Bobby Wilson, we didn't have street lights. You better be inside before sundown. Yeah, that's how my husband grew up. He grew up, my late husband, on a 48-acre farm, and they didn't have street lights. But they have it now, but they didn't. Okay. Belly Acres number 3. Thank you for being here. Yeah, they came over with a phone, honey. 9 and 6 years old. So we have to really watch our children. And when they are in my care, they don't go outside of the privacy fence. And I have locks on both of them from the outside. Not that people can't jump over the fence because they can. But I'm right out there with them. And if they're out of my eyesight, I'm yelling their name. I sure do. I kicked my sis and her daughter out on my birthday. Uh-oh, I missed something. They were shut down. They wouldn't shut off their phone, couldn't even have a conversation. I know it. My brother came here to bury one of his longtime deacons. It was 92 a couple weeks ago, and we all met out at a restaurant for dinner. And I just looked down at the table. It was 13 of us, and everybody was just doing this. He was from out of town. Where was the conversation? What was the conversation in the fellowship to get together? Don't get me wrong. We had a good time. But almost everybody was doing something on their phone. It's just ridiculous. Please add... Okay. Etis. We have a new member. Let's welcome her. She joined the Eat Your Own Club. We appreciate you. Please email me your address. I'm going to pin it to the top, my email address. I'm going to pin it to the top so you can see it. Okay, come on. It's going slow. So there's something wrong with the internet. I hope I'm not breaking up again. Okay. So you can see it at the bottom and you can see it at the top. Yes. Yes, I've grown purslane. Purslane, you know, some people consider it a weed, but it has more omega-3 in it than salmon. And where I live, it is one of the first things other than daikon or what's the other yellow weed, guys? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Start with a D. My mind went blank. It's one of the, what they call weeds that show up around this time of the year. The birds just drop and the wind just blow them in. I would mark it off. Come on, show me that weed. Dandelion. Thank you, guys. Because that's what chicory is, Italian dandelion. And, yes. And I eat mine raw. And it has a peppery taste to it. And it tastes really good in your salad. And at one while, I was on a big, heavy kick of eating purslane. I even bought purslane seeds. And I bought the purslane seeds from Botanical Interest and grew them. And it's one of those seeds that are real tiny that you spread across the top. Keep it spritzed with water. I use distilled water until the seeds come up. And I'm sure you probably could use the regular water, but I just been praying all my seeds germinated. So I read somewhere that that was the best thing to use if you're going to use sterilized seed mix with boiling distilled water. You might, why you going to put minerals and chlorine on it that may retard the seed germination. I don't know if that's true, but since I have a lot of distilled water with my products that I make, that I decided to go ahead on and do that a few years ago. Okay, I'm thinking I'm seeing a moderator without question marks. How do I start? Are you talking about echinacea? Just like any other flower. If that's what you're talking about, cone flowers, echinacea. I have so much that it mine comes back. The video that I'll put out tomorrow is where the kids and I did a brick outline in the bed that was wood that deteriorated. And I was telling them, stop walking on the bed. There's one dwarf pear tree that had fire blight for years. And I'll show you in the video where I kept cutting it down all the way down to the ground. And it kept growing back. But you started just like you start marigolds or any other flower. But let it die back naturally, collect the seeds for the next year. And what we did today was we took those long little, I'm gonna use my battery charger wire. We have these long sticks like this shooting out the ground where the flowers used to be. And we cut them off to the ground level. And Chewy got a little overzealous and he started pulling it up. And it was a good teaching lesson. I didn't get mad at him. And what I did was I told him to come here, and I showed it in the video where there was green on the bottom of the part that he snapped off. That's the part that will come back next year with your Mexican petunias and your echinacea. Okay, so somebody says, oh dear, I need to harvest purslane and share. Yes. Hey, So Good Gardener, thank you for being here. That's okay, man. If you got something to do and you're late, you can always watch the replay. But we appreciate you coming in. And then I see we got somebody speaking to Nikki. I think I missed it. Yes, OCD is chick speaking to people. Make sure if you came in late to hit the like button. I really would appreciate it. And I was just trying to get the questions so you wouldn't have to look for them. Oh, okay, Growing with Hudson, you knew somebody else was asking that question. Thank you, Growing with Hudson. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, okay, somebody's retiring. It's a good feeling. Man, I got all my stuff lined up. I retired. I had 7 more payments to make on this house. And I knew I could make them. And I had health issues, had to have a major surgery. And I retired at 60. And going into retirement, I paid off all of my bills. And like I said, I had 7 months to pay on the mortgage. And I did that the first year. And I bought me a bigger greenhouse. Bought me a All-American canner, the one I've been wanting for years. I got that. I bought a 9-tray Excalibur dehydrator, a commercial mixer, so for my teas and my honeys. I had all these big plans, you know, and I made preparations. Because every day I get to work out, I just want to get out of there. But I kept seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Light, and I knew I was going to make it. I had planned to work 2 more years, but the Lord stepped in and said, you got to have some surgery, and you're going to be off for a while. You're not going to be able to talk for a year, and I could not. Oh, yeah, I paid off my home 7 years ago. I'll be 68. 8 years, almost. I think April would be 8 years, something like that. Yeah, God is good. God is good. Yeah, the All-American can is heavy though, guys. It's heavy, so I have to dip my water out. When I first started using it, I thought I could pick it all up and go to the sink, and I don't have a pot filler, so I have to. So now what I do is I put it in a gallon and fill it up like that, and I dip my water out with a small container and put it into a big pot, a bigger pot, no more than a gallon, and then I ease it out. But I used to just pick everything all up, and I would just hurt all up in my shoulders and shoveling, going back to the making the soil mix and stuff. I just can't do it anymore. Thank you, David Corey. And Chris something. I didn't know if that was a female or a male. And now I know she's a female. And she's a truck driver. I think she's been driving for 28 to 29 years in her 60s. And she let me know. And I'm so happy to know that. Sometimes I don't know if the people are male or female. But anyway, I want everybody to have a great week. If you have any questions, just email me. If it's something that I can help you with, but if it's something simple that you can find out on YouTube or Google, I would prefer that you do that first. Okay, I see 2 questions. I'm going to get them. What would you recommend, concrete or wooden raised beds? Okay, if you're going to do raised beds, untreated lumber is the best, because they say the treated lumber can leach into the soil, but now they got some treated lumber that you can use for gardening. So you want to check with the lumber store, the big box stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever. But in the video that you'll see tomorrow or the next day that I put out, you can see where Chewy and Brian are hauling off lumber that decayed, that wasn't treated. And the low part in my yard where my she shed is, I had them to put some of that lumber there because I know it wasn't treated. And then we put the mulch on top of it, and it's going to break it down and kind of level it off. And we're going to have to trench it out a little bit when I do get that shed. The last shed that my late husband bought, there's nothing in there but some junk, and I'm going to have somebody come in there, put windows, a little chandelier, and I'm going to make my candles and stuff out there. Not my products, but just my candles. And make it Cheryl She Shed. And what else I was going to say about the lumber? Oh, yes. And then you want to know about the cement. Okay, they stopped putting cinder ash in the concrete blocks in the 70s. I did a lot of research because people was trying to tell me that I got cinder blocks. They are not even sold as cinder blocks. They are sold as concrete blocks, and they don't have that cinder that can leach into your soil anymore. But now if you've gotten some from an old area, an old home, people talk about Katrina, concrete blocks, those I wouldn't use. But if you're buying new cinder blocks, they are not harmful to your health. You guys know I've been cancer-free. I had breast cancer almost 30 years ago. So I don't do anything that's going to contribute to my chances getting it again. And I have concrete blocks, and I had wooden garden beds. But here recently, I moved to galvanized steel, and then somebody tried to tell me on a Facebook group that even galvanized steel can leach into the soil, and another guy who had a PhD in science came to my rescue and let them know that that does not leach into the soil. And they said if you open up a can of something, it's no different than opening up a can of tuna or something like that. I don't know exactly what he said, but so all of these things are good to use nowadays. The only thing that I would say, if you're growing in something plastic, make sure that it's food grade, and make sure that you get the right type of lumber treated wood or treated lumber that is okay for a garden bed. Okay, so I hope I answered your question. Okay, so let me go back. Concrete blocks. Yeah, somebody is saying that. And somebody needs a mentor in the Montana area. She moved from Oregon, so her name is LaDon Pritchard. If somebody in here in that area, please let her know. Put something in if you're close to that gardening zone. Put something in so she can come back and look at it, you know, and find it. Okay, let me get back. I see the other question. How do you keep squirrels from eating your corn? Okay, what I use is, and you can have mice eating your corn too, and you can have them corn worms too eating your corn. But what I do to keep the squirrels away from my corn is I use Rodent Be Gone. It comes in a spray and it comes in a granular form, and you can get those at Home Depot. You probably can get it at Amazon. Uh, Also, you could put ammonia in on cotton balls. I'm a cosmetologist, so I have those little cylinder rollers that are open on both ends, and I put the ammonia there and just throw them around the fence line or around your corn somewhere. I also use either grated or chopped up Irish Spring soap. They don't like the smell of that. You can put coffee grounds around the bottom of your corn to keep a lot of insects away that don't like coffee, such as those nasty worms. And another thing you can do once your corn tassels, every silk tassel, individual one, represents one kernel of corn. So when it starts to tassel, you can take any type of vegetable oil and put it into some type of applicator that has a squeeze or flip cap like this peppermint oil, but I'm not saying use peppermint, and take the tassel and then drip it down. Now, I know some people are not organic. They will use mineral oil. I don't recommend that because that's, you know, that's not organic. But take like a corn oil, a mineral corn oil, canola oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, something like that, and pour it down those tassels. And it gets real slippery when they try to pull the corn tassel back. The worms won't eat it, and the squirrel. How many of you all see them in a bird feeder just spinning around when people put oil or Vaseline on it and they can't get the seeds? The same thing with the corn. Okay? Okay, let me looking for any other question. Debbie Epps is telling Tiz, congratulations on your retirement. I want to wish you congratulations as well. There are a lot of great gardeners on YouTube. Bernie is telling you to just Google, search that in YouTube. Somebody saying they got the gravy. I don't know what's going on, but oh, I must be talking about squirrels. Debbie's gonna bring some greens. Okay, so you all just gonna have like a meal. Okay. So Good Gardener said he a country boy. I missed it. It's moving too fast. I'm sorry. If y'all talking about squirrel, I haven't eaten it, but I have cooked it for my country husband. He grew up on the farm, and they ate squirrel. And I have cooked it. And another thing I've cooked for him is rabbit. But I have eaten deer, venison, because he would slaughter it or whatever, and then he would take it to the butcher, and they would make deer sausage. And they would add, I think it was pork with it. And then we bought a meat grinder, and he started making sausage for everybody in the family. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. Auntie says she's had success with the Irish Spring. I got some right on my washing machine that I need to cut up. I've been walking past it every day. It does work. And, okay, so good garden. I thought you were talking about eating the squirrel. My husband used to have a BB gun and he would go out there and shoot him. I said, you're going to get in trouble, but he was an excellent hunter, so he knew what he was doing. Okay, everybody, I hope I got all of your questions. Know this, and you will figure this out once you become a content creator and you start doing lives. You cannot possibly get all the questions the way that the chat works. If you have a lot of people in there, it goes kind of fast, and so I try to double back. So if I missed anybody, it was not intentional. Sometimes when I'm staying up late on Monday night, seeing if anybody ordering anything and processing and sending you an email, I will be listening to the chat and trying to watch it, and I'll miss a question or two. So I admit that. It can't be helped. It's not intentional. Okay? All right. Have a wonderful week. I'm trying to drop a YouTube video either tomorrow or the next day. And again, I hope that you will order the Peace Fragrance Cologne. It's on sale. Make sure that you go to the special page. Also, I want to share this with you, that each bottle has a small piece of the red Texas Star hibiscus in it. Okay? All right. Good night, everybody. Good night. Let me see if I catch anybody that I missed. You're welcome, Fighting Quads. Sir Handsome? What hardness zone does Cheryl live in? I live in 8A, North Texas. Mesquite, Texas, to be exact. Sweet Dreams, living Miracle Homestead. That's Kathy. Nice to see you. Okay, good night, everybody. See you next week. You gotta go around the table and stop everything.